A tired-looking Yafriti man of about 50 stares into the camera, a spooky face reflected in his eye. The face leans back, a gaunt, pale-faced Mistral in a dull black robe, his fingers interlaced, his head tilted as he scrutinizes the tired man. Barrowman, please, don't do this. Barrowman sneers and turns the tired man's head to see a young Lunari man in a medieval-looking chair a few feet to his right. Barrowman wheezed out an unpleasant string of syllables, his eyes channeling hate. This is Crispin. You two will be very close. Both men scream. The scene turns quickly red, then fades to black as steel sharpens steel.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm taking off, still to run. I'm taking off, still to run. I'm taking off, still to run. I was trying to drifting to space. All I feel is cold. All I want is the power of the night.
If you missed last week, our heroes entered a big mining sort of receiving area for ore and rock and stuff. There were a bunch of loading machines and pipes up the center of the chamber. It was about 100 feet cube. There were all these catwalks, and our heroes ran in, did some shooting with the bad guys. They had automatic weapons, but somehow y'all managed to survive due to some fancy footwork, and Alecto did this incredible thing where she spun around and flipped and all this stuff around the central cable.
That Ash is fully able to tell us all about because they were there.
It was pretty great. Alecto was used to her fullest.
Sorry for all the bad rolls.
If I remember correctly, Keziah took over a loading machine and used it to stab someone into the floor. Ebenezer got the final shot, was it? Or the second to last shot?
Yep.
And just carved a guy up. Oh, that's right. Carved halfway through his arm, and then the last person punched their arm off. That was probably Tina or
I think
Alecto.
Ebenezer's real accomplishment that session was just getting downstairs.
Yeah. He had to safely maneuver his way down the stairs.
Was firing the gun in the right direction.
Yeah. So we will begin there. So, yeah, there's a bunch of bodies. There's a wolf that chewed on the last one a little bit. And you're at the bottom of this big cube. There's all these machines and piles of rubble and stuff everywhere. And a hallway past the corpse of the smoking person who was wearing the green cloak that was carrying the DNA trace. And last thing we heard was our boy Abelard Ondashar telling Gale about this secret object that could control something called a null gate and to keep it close. And then he also gives you a super shielded sensor device and asks you to get it as close to the drive as possible. So according to your schematics, this hallway goes and turns into a ramp that circles down a large hexagonal shaped chamber that's about another 100, 200 feet deep. And supposedly that's where the SVA drive is located.
And that's where I need to bring
I mean, you'll have it. You don't necessarily have to use it, but the sensor device, they do need to get it in there somewhere in case the drive operates. They'll be able to learn some stuff about it. It's just like a little disc. You stick it on the wall with glue or something. It does it all for you.
Anyone bring glue?
It's in there. It's got a glue squirter thing.
Perfect.
You just want to get it as close to the thing as possible. Is everyone ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Abelard says, well, I guess I'll go first. And Tina's right behind him. Y'all can set your marching order. It's 2 by 2 down the shaft there. Tunnel, corridor. One of those.
Which part is the corridor?
It's just going south out of this room you're currently in.
So down here-ish.
No, you're not quite to this yet. This is for in a minute when you get there.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Just put yourself on the stairs up on the north there. That's where you'll be.
Oh, okay. Protect the caster.
Yeah, you're usually in the back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sure Ebenezer will be in there somewhere.
Oh, he's taking charge and lead position. I wrote.
You want to be in the lead?
Yeah.
I love it.
Can I-
Put yourself
I
in the
want to
front.
be lead adjacent at least.
Okay. Ebenezer, you step out into this chamber and you see at the top there's a standard looking jump drive like out of a starship. It's, kind of like in Star Trek. It's like a cylinder with light and nubs and consoles and things, and it goes up into the ceiling or the roof of the stone above, and then there's a catwalk all around it. And it's active, and there's like little sparks and things coming out of points on the ground where you see 5, big stone kind of diamond shaped things are coming up into the catwalk, the base of it, and then cables are running from those into the drive. So it's almost like it's being supercharged with whatever these 5 things are. And once you get out onto the catwalk, you see down through that they're kind of like the keel of a ship. Each one bows out sort of, and then back in as it meets the floor of the cavern at the base. And they faintly glow with this purpley blue light from within. And there's all these runes like all down every side of these things. And there's these weird sort of orb-shaped sections where it looks like somebody could stand in. And there's like, it looks kind of wet and gooey in those areas. It looks nothing like what you would put in a starship. It looks completely bizarre. And to your right, there's a ramp leading down around the outside of the cavern. So you kind of circle the cavern as you go down to the base.
I don't suppose anyone can read those runes, eh?
It's seed, and I want to walk up. Is it possible to walk up to ones on them and try to see if I know what?
So here at the top, there's just cables coming out of them and some sort of capacitor that's like collecting energy. If you go down the ramp a little bit, you can see them more clearly. You can zoom in with your goggles and stuff. Does anyone want to investigate the drive itself?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Give me a. Do you have engineering? Starship design. I don't know what. But, I mean, computers will be fine if you just want to do a little research.
Cybernetics, hacking, piloting.
Yeah, just call it hacking, and we'll see what you come up with.
22.
Apparently, this is just like a large starship drive. Something you assume there was one or more on the station that got it out here, or like a really large capital starship. According to the schematics, the only thing that's unusual is that an obscene amount of power is going into it. And there's some kind of proprietary system that's managing it without overloading the system. So you don't know anything about the details, but you can tell that it's like an order of magnitude more powerful, ounce for ounce, than a regular ship of this kind. And there's some like nav information that's been previously plotted into it that shows it going to Deverikar.
Deverikar is the place that we just were?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the people giving speeches said they're going to fly this whole thing over there.
Okay.
But there's no information about where all this extra power is coming from or what these like giant stone rib things are.
Gotcha. And she's obviously doing what we talked about before.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Secrets.
Yes, secrets. So does there anything look weird about, you said it was gooey, and like, does this look more
yeah.
organic,
If you go down the ramp, we'll say you start heading down the ramp, unless I can't imagine Alecto or Ebenezer would care about this star drive.
I mean, only as much as Ebenezer's concerned about getting like some of the goo on his robes.
Oh, yeah. The closest pod is about 20 feet away from the ramp. I think you'll be fine. Unless it suddenly blows out.
It's pretty. I like the colors. And it's bright and exciting.
And Gale, I assume you're just itching to get down to the magic.
Go down the ramp and get a good look at those ruins, see if I can tell the...
Cool. So would this be like an arcane knowledge check? Any sort of wizardly history? This shit is ancient. So give me a light check and add +2 if you have ancient cultures or languages or I don't know what.
Arcane knowledge.
There you go.
22?
22. That's good. So your visual goggles or your virtua goggles are like going like they don't know what the script is. But something weird about it is that there's all these codes that suggest that the information has been purged from the net, which is bizarre. Like you know, like if you read a document from the government and there's like blacked out sections.
So it just looks like a big old redact.
Yeah, any sort of translation of these things is redacted. As far as your arcane knowledge goes, you know that these are magical symbols and they're older than any known language. They probably go back to the original people, the Xeraxes Domani, before the rending. Like, this is some ancient shit. And those pods, you believe, are for beings to be put in, either corpses or living beings. You're not sure.
Oh, either or.
Yeah. It's pretty freaky. And some of the pods are like large enough for a like 10-foot tall person, like even larger than a Vorok. And they stretch down like 200 feet to the base of the thing. But yeah, you can't translate them. You've never seen magic like this, but you can feel like it radiating. And in your pocket where that device is Andashara gave you, or artifact, I guess is a better word for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pulsing weirdly, kind of radiating, as if it can detect magic. Or magic of this sort, anyway.
And I forget, do people know that I have this artifact on my person, or is this something I've shared with people?
I can't remember. Did y'all try to eavesdrop on Gale and Andashar's conversation? Ebenezer? Yeah. I can't remember. Did you hear any of it? I know you saw he passed Gale a couple things. One of them was some sort of technological disc, and the other was a little black box.
I forget if I actually noticed what was being passed, but I just eavesdropped on it.
Okay. So you know there's some sort of artifact that's dangerous. He offered to keep it, but Gale decided to take it, and then there's a sensor device.
I've been standing a ways away from Gale ever since, like a good safe distance.
That turns out that's why you're in front, just to get away from Gale.
Yeah. I'll take the charge this time.
I walk right up to Ebenezer.
Oh, no.
You were the one that wanted to know what the rune said, right?
No, I'm fine. I believe that was Alecto.
Alecto, was it you? I thought it was Ebenezer.
I'm just pinned against the wall. I'm all flattened out.
Ebenezer, are you okay?
Tina says, I've seen that kind of script somewhere before.
I mean, it's as ancient as anything can get. I think this, whatever language this is, it was made before the expressions existed.
Yeah, it was on the mural on Deverikar, the weird ruins.
What was on the mural?
It was like pictures of all sorts of different people with different costumes and things, and then around the border were these runes in a sort of, I don't know, cartouche. I don't know if Tina knows the word cartouche, but like, bordered and sort of rounded and almost joining at the top. In a way, kind of, what's the word?
A rainbow?
No, more like analogous to what you're seeing here. These ribs with runes on the side. Almost like what is it called when you make like a metaphorical illustration? It's symbolic. Like it's not a literal thing. It's more like, this is kind of what you'll see if you go through this door, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, from what we can gather from what she's describing, the mural is depicting pretty much what we're seeing here.
Possibly, yeah. Or it's at least related.
Okay, well, I don't particularly like spooky cave walls depicting things that we see in real life.
So you notice that the glow has started to sort of, if you think of a lava lamp where it like kind of bows out and then goes up, and kind of imagine a light inside the ribs doing a similar thing as it climbs up from the bottom and then sort of, and that when it gets to the top, this sort of brighter glow, it sort of makes the sparks happen up around the drive. and it's slow right now, but it's almost like it's powering up.
Is this thing actually moving towards Devarikar?
You check there's no jamming anymore, so you check your info, and according to the ship, the Comet Seeker, it hasn't traveled yet. Everything's where it's supposed to be, where you left it.
Can I, access the navigation panel?
Oh, you mean at the drive? There is
Yeah.
a console there, but everything's fixed. It's you can't do anything. It's locked down. You were able to hack in and learn some stuff, but you don't think you could break through this. I feel like I don't have the right words today, but you're
Sorry.
locked out of actually altering anything. Now you notice that all the way past the glowing ribs down at the bottom, there's some sort of, I don't know, mess of wires and steel contraption, and there's somebody inside it, sort of with a faint blue glow of lights around them, but you can't get a good look at their face from up here.
Am I able to zoom in with my virtual goggles?
Sure, yes. And it's then that you realize that in the gloom past all this is an ancient null gate, which if you've seen Stargate or whatever, it's similar, but it's like a big ass round pedestal, and on top of it sits this 50 feet wide circle, and around the edges are similar kind of smaller pods, but instead of being sort of blue and purple, they're sort of red and dark blue. And they kind of faintly gleam red from inside, and some of them seem like they might have something inside them. They're not open like these ribs are. And the whole thing is slowly starting to, I don't know, gleam a bit bluey purpley, just enough for you to see it. And then this person, you see their face, and they look fucking weird.
Ugh.
They have mostly bluish skin, but it's in places it's sort of morphing and shifting colors. They're bald. Their hair seems to have been replaced with all these plugs and cables and wires, and there's those big bangles on their arms with more cables and stuff around their middle. They've got a bit of a loincloth skirt situation, but other than that, they're naked.
Oh my god, it's Electro from Spider-Man.
And they're just sort of, they could be sleeping. They're just sort of semi-crucified in there, just kind of hanging out.
There's a gross person in there. There's a gross person, and their hair is cables, and their skin's blue, and I don't know what's happening. Jeff, is the artifact pulsing anymore at seeing all of this?
The big rib things. You've noticed. Your virtual goggles tell you that the speed of that rising glow is kind of picking up speed, but it's a slow process.
I'm asking about the thing in my pocket.
Oh, that. Oh, no, it's just sort of an ambient kind of
Okay.
sort of. It's like you ate a little bad something maybe last night, but it's not full-blown food poisoning.
That doesn't look like a guy we should wake up.
Andashar looks just horrified and disgusted. The rest of you, I'm going to need a shadow check. And this is going to be difficult.
Don't raise the stakes. Don't raise the stakes on me. What can I? Is it a straight shadow check? Is it just straight shadow?
Yes.
16. This is bad.
16. 15.
Whoa.
If 16 is
Well.
bad, how bad is 13?
13. It's more bad.
Yes.
It's,
Not as
no,
good
12.
as 16.
12 is.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
it's certainly better.
Gale and Keziah, you feel queasy, and you have all these images in your head of like nightmares that you remember, like hearing about the boogeyman and that kind of thing, and you're getting all those feelings like from childhood. You'll be at -1 to all rolls until you get the hell out of here. I'm rolling for Tina and Ondashar. Okay, Ondashar looks pretty steely, but Tina also is a little freaked. So Tina, Alecto, and Ebenezer are -2. And if you move towards this thing, you'll go half movement.
Thing is bad.
Ebenezer like immediately goes wobbly in the knees.
Yeah.
Am I also at half movement and -2 or whatever the
You're -1.
minus
You just feel
one?
kind
Okay.
of uneasy. But yeah, this is clear signs of the original people's tech. It should all be dead, and yet here it is active. And even more disturbing, there's this person who's been tainted by it somehow. Do y'all want to walk down there?
No, I don't. I want to stay far away from this place. This place is bad.
How far is Keziah away from these pod things?
The closest one is probably 20 feet, as the crow flies, like from the ramp.
Flies, you say?
Right. Can she get to it? And also, is she actually in the Ripley loader thing that we talked about last time?
Yes, you're still in that thing.
Okay.
Common sense will tell you that thing is thrumming with an obscene amount of power. You've seen the data. So touching it might be risky.
I would like to subtly put the device on the wall.
Just here, like above the... Okay, yeah, sure. Close enough.
You told me this was the room where I needed to do it.
Oh, yeah, he said get it as close to the device as possible. But, this whole thing is a device, so really, close enough. So you stick it on the wall, the glue goes around it, and it's affixed. It's a little red blinking light.
Wonderful.
Ondashar unfurls his wings and he's like, I can go down there alone if need be, but one of us needs to
No, I'll go
do
with
something.
you.
All right, he holds out his
what
hand.
do we need to do?
Isn't it obvious? We need to rescue that poor soul.
We need to rest. He looks so scary. His skin is moving. All of his skin is moving, and I'm terrified.
I've heard the phrase skin crawling before. Never saw it.
Keziah suddenly looks really interested. She's like,
There's nothing crawling about it. It's doing a whole jig.
I'll go look.
Okay, so it sounds like the three people that aren't totally freaked out are going to go down there. So just stick yourselves near the guy or position yourself somewhere around there.
I take homie's hand.
And Keziah, the closest pod from the floor is about 20 feet up as well. They don't go all the way down to the floor. And you see that they've been affixed to the floor with these like enormous, I don't know, titanium, whatever the strongest metal is in this universe, just like dug into the ground to keep them from wobbling or whatever.
She'll make sure to kind of like get near one and,
The closer you get to it, the more your hair stands on end. It's like standing near a transformer.
Does she feel particularly weird because of her cybernetics?
It definitely is interacting weirdly. It's not shorting out your systems, but it's definitely causing a lot of interference. Things are moving a little more slowly as they try to compensate with these weird energies. And you can definitely tell that they're starting to pick up the pace. And now that you're down here, you realize the guy's eyes are wide open, but his irises are gray, and the pupil is like microscopic, and they slowly turn to look at you, Gale.
Hello.
He has
Hi.
a gag on, like some sort of mess of bullshit coming out of his mouth, so you don't think he could respond. Does anyone have telepathy? Pretty sure Tina doesn't. Everyone's checking their
That would be
character
fun.
sheets. I feel like you know.
Character sheet. Where's my spells? Where's my
Oh,
spells? I
no.
do not have telepathy.
So this guy got a legendary success on his telepathic probe.
Wait,
So, yes?
didn't I make telepathic earpieces?
You
Oh, you did
did.
say something about that, yeah.
It's like a charm you put in your ear or something?
Yes, I fucking touch it like a Bluetooth. Can I hear him?
Yeah, you feel a pressure in your brain, and then you click that thing, and all of a sudden, it's like enormous voice fills your head, and it says, "You have come to free me." Roll a water check. This is resist domination.
Oh,
I don't
Wait,
suppose you have a legend
defatigable?
point.
I don't believe I have a legend point. I don't think
Yeah,
I've done that.
You'll need to get a 40.
And that doesn't happen.
Crap.
That doesn't. I get an 18.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the guy rolled a 28, so it's hard to beat that. On the dice, I mean. So, Gale, you get kind of still. Everything slows down a bit. You feel an intense urge to go over there and free the guy. Ondashar puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "What is it, Gale?"
We are freeing him, right? Because he just told I have earpiece. I have an earpiece, and I clicked it, and his brain is telling my brain that we're here to free him.
He looks really freaked out, and then he says, many beings have telepathy, and perhaps this machine can enhance his natural ability. You feel like yourself moving towards the guy, and he's got his hand on your shoulder, and he's like, "Oh, okay, I guess he's following your lead on this." Keziah, doing anything?
Is there any way I can judge whether or not Gale seems like she's acting like herself?
Unless you roll a 1, you know. Yeah, roll a d10.
Nope, that's a 9.
Yeah, Gale is obviously under the influence of something.
Okay. I'm going to try to hamster ball Gale with the shield.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah. Give me a roll. Let's see what it'll take to break it.
That would be a 20.
Cool. Yeah. Gale, you bump into a wall of force, and Ondashar yanks you back, worried that it might hurt you or whatever, but it's just a normal old force field.
Ow.
She's not herself. Something is wrong.
I don't think I'd be myself when I'm confronted with the strange blue person who's speaking to my brain.
Ondashar shouts to him. He says, "Whatever you're doing, stop it, or we won't free you."
I don't think he's going to listen to you.
Can I kind of like think back at him? Like, just kind of ask him what he's going to do if we free him?
Yes, you feel this intense wave of relief and appreciation. And he says, "I just need to be free. They have destroyed my body and warped my mind. I need to be released. I can go through that gate. I will not trouble you any longer."
What's past the gate?
The in-between paths. They are drawing from its energy to power their machine, using me as its capacitor.
Guys, he says he needs to go through the gate.
Because he wants to, or is he from through the gate? That didn't come out right. Is he from through the gate? What a cool sentence.
He says
Coincidentally, the dimension's called Through the Gate. It's all one
Yeah.
word.
it is.
Is he from
It's like
through the
over
gate?
the garden wall.
Everyone knows there's the second dimension, the third dimension, the fourth dimension, and the through the gate dimension.
Through the Gate, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
He just said that it was an in between. So, like, through the gate, there's some sort of like veil between the worlds.
Yeah, and Gale, you know, especially because he starts giving you images from old texts and legends and tales and things, that the in-between paths connect every null gate in the galaxy. And there's not much known about who's in there or how far apart all the gates are. But there are like... There's a central pillar that like takes you to different levels. It's almost like heaven and hell and stuff. Like there's all sorts of legends that have their base. They draw from this legend.
I think every time he like sends an image over, you can see Gale just kind of like shudder a little bit.
Is he hurting you?
No, he's not hurting me.
The only pain you're feeling is his pain sort of bleeding through the link.
He's in a lot of pain. And he's showing me these openings through, like, there's this central hub inside the gate and all these doors that lead to other places. I really can't even comprehend any of it.
Now, Alecto, in your training, you've been taught about these gates, but they're metaphorical. They're like, chakras and things. They sort of describe different levels of training and meditation. So that it's vaguely familiar, but not as an actual place.
Okay. So yeah, I'll describe it as the different levels of enlightenment that you achieve through body and mind. That it's not a place; it's more of a level of attainment of consciousness. And then, if anyone's listening, she'll go on about, like, when you attain first jhana, this happens, second jhana, blah, blah, blah. But probably people start to tune out after a few minutes.
Is Alecto down there with us, or is there any way she can hear us?
I think they're a little farther up the ramp. I'm not sure how far. It's up to y'all and Ebenezer.
I would have edged my way down. I want to be there to protect my companions, no matter how terrifying
Okay,
it is.
so we'll say you're like 50 feet back or whatever. Or 30. I guess, according to the picture, you're about 30 feet away from the guy.
Yeah. I don't like it down there.
Oh, man. So, Ondashar's looking at you, Keziah, like kind of stricken, like he wants to free this guy, but he doesn't want to order you to turn off the field.
I will turn it off as long as Gale feels that she is not being compelled to do anything against her will.
Okay, Gale, do you want to convey that feeling?
It's not like he's controlling me. It's like he's showing me all these images of what was done to him, and I think we need to let him go.
Does that sound like Gale, or does that sound like controlled Gale?
Yeah, you're seeing all these images of him living these different lives, like all the way back to maybe when he was 20 and was captured, and his body has been fucking violated and transformed, and this is just the latest indignity. And there's some sort of like evil necromancer that was part of this plot, and yeah.
That's just Gale, though, right? I can't see that.
Yeah,
right?
this is just stuff Gale's getting.
Because I know that any words I say right now aren't going to make you believe me, because anything that I say to convince you I'm not controlled is something a controlled person would say.
Well, Kristy, am asking Jeff. Does it sound like Gale?
Yeah,
Does
yeah,
it
of
sound
course
like
it does. I mean, but you also know that, like, say a vampire, for example, can compel somebody to do something, and they'd sort of take it on board and think that it was their idea. So it's hard to know for sure that it's not
right.
Gale.
But like a minute ago, she didn't sound like herself. Does she sound more like herself now? Is all I'm asking.
Yes. Yeah, she seems in
Okay.
control.
Okay. She will drop the field then. And also, I totally forgot that I had the -1, so I apologize for that. It would have been.
Oh, so it would have been a
instead of
19.
20. Yeah. I mean, it's a little late now.
I think it's okay. It's pretty.
I think
clear.
it plays very well.
Yeah. Oh, that was
It's
for
better
the
that it
field
did.
itself. That just means the field is 15 points instead of 20. It's not like a huge thing. So, yeah, you can move up there now. Abelard stands on one side of the guy and gets ready to release him.
I take the ball gag off of him.
Okay, you take that off, and just sort of hangs around his neck, and he like tries to speak, but I don't want to get too graphic, but like, he's got some dental issues and like his tongue, it's hard for him to speak.
Is there anything that Keziah can do? Either to help or
To help him? Sure, yeah, you can hit him with a little dose of healing goo. I don't know. Right now he's just sort of drooling and sort of mumbling.
Healing squirt.
Just
Yeah.
pop open a 12-ounce can of healing goo and pour it right in there.
Hell yeah. Yeah, just give me a medicine check. We'll see how you do.
Hey there, I see you got some healing milk. Mind if I take a little sip?
With the -1, it's a 25.
Yeah. Yeah. You easily help treat his pain, and he's able to make a few words. But he clearly hasn't been breathing on its own. It's like if you take a breathing tube out of somebody, like he's kind of struggling to get it together. But in Gale's head, he's making perfect sense. He's just saying, all you have to do is break one of these runic bonds on my arm and I'll be free. So someone like literally like used magic to compel him to stand in this spot.
You're supposed to tell them to cough when you pull them out.
Okay. He coughs. A bunch of
No,
fucking gnarly goo
she's
comes out.
instructing Gale on how to do it better next time.
Oh.
It helps them breathe.
So Gale, yeah, he is ready to be released. All you have to do is break one of these runic bonds on his arms. But you're getting this weird image of him as like two different dudes. One who's older and Yafrit, and one who's younger and Lunari. And it's now that you realize that like one of his eyes is different from the other, and like maybe the color shifting skin has something to do with that. One hand seems to be larger than the other. Like this is a real Frankenstein situation.
Okay, so to break the runes, is that like, do I need to cut the metal itself, or can I just like scratch out one of the runes to like cancel out the whole effect?
Yeah, just hit it with a welder torch or whatever. Break the seal.
Yeah, I kind of like lay hands on the like it's a bracelet, like it's a not a bracelet. What the hell? It's like a cuff, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like grip the cuff as much as I can and kind of like put a little bit of elemental strike into my hand so that I like my hand becomes the welding implement.
Cool. Okay. So yeah, you just need to do 5 points of damage. So over the course of a round or two, you can chop through it.
All right.
So yeah, a little white hot light goes zzzt, and the rune snaps and all the bonds break and fall off of him, and he starts like pulling the wires and shit out of his skin. And when he does, his skin starts to heal up where they used to be implanted. And he's stepping back away from all the gear and like finally gets it all out of himself, and he's like coughing and he reaches out to touch your arm.
I let him.
Okay, Abelard's like about to leap in front of you, but you let him, so he's... Ugh. And he gives you this long, searching look, and then he breaks for the gate.
Should we not be here? As in, do we need to run?
Into the gate?
No, away.
Oh,
Well,
good.
it's funny that you ask, because as soon as he yanks the last cable out, you see that the lights that were kind of going up the ribs, they start to oscillate, not all at the same time. One goes up and the other goes up, and the rhythm gets off, and you see that the clamps at the ground start to like vibrate. So clearly the ribs are starting to like move out of sync with one another. Does anyone stop him? Because he's just going to go through the gate otherwise.
Let's see why we should.
I mean, I think there's going to be some like mild complaining from Crunch. Like, I didn't even introduce me. I'm out of my importance.
Crunch, blue guy, crunch.
I kind of like look up at the null gate and I look back at Alucard and just kind of ask him like, "This is why we're here, right? Are we following or?"
No, we were just supposed to learn about this machine. I've been improvising. And it's then that you realize that the cables and stuff are sort of, there must be nanotech or whatever. They're sort of like moving back into place as if seeking a controller, and they're clearly like stretching out in your direction, Gale.
Oh, I fucking jump.
You get away from them.
Yeah.
They're like grasping around, and the thing is clearly shaking now. There's like dust coming down from the ceiling, pebbles and shit. And you hear a nasty whine coming from the drive up top. And all of you get a ping on your communicators, and it's Taco the Tasty. And he's like, "What the hell's going on down there?"
I think the whatever's down here is completely shutting down. We need to go. We need to go. Now.
Can you fix it?
We broke it.
How are we supposed to fix it?
No, Keziah, don't say that.
The fuck do I
That's
know?
not official.
Yeah, exactly. It's ancient technology.
Do you actually want it fixed?
Well, it's overloading. Clearly, according to our sensors here, it could go at any time. You know, it'll take you about 10 minutes to get out of here at a full sprint. But now you see that the gate has like swirled open, and the dude steps through, and beyond it is just this kind of vaguely dark purpley, hazy landscape. There's like a stone pedestal similar to the one here beyond it, and then sort of, I don't know, a few twinkly lights, but other than that, just sort of a hazy landscape.
I think Gale just kind of gets lost in that for a minute. Like she's looking into that and she doesn't know what to do.
So the options are run off into the unknown,
Mm-hmm.
or try to get out of here within 10 minutes. Do we know what's going to happen if this thing blows up? I mean, wasn't...
Well, typically
kind of
when
the-
typically when a jump drive overloads, which is what's happening, it explodes in a massive, explosion. So that would be bad.
Yeah.
You don't know if it would crack the entire asteroid, but it would definitely do some damage under it, at least, which you're in.
Didn't somebody want this thing destroyed, though?
Not necessarily. Flint just wanted to know how they got it working so fast, and apparently it's because of black magic.
Well, I say we have an answer to the question, Alucard, and there is one expedient way out of here. So, Taco, warp the fuck away as fast as you can. Everyone through the fucking gate.
But what was her name? Shauna's not back yet. She has the antidote. And
I
Abelard's
forget
like,
what's the
what
antidote."
the fuck? You sent the antidote for Prozamaya back with Shauna the Marine, and she hasn't returned yet. There's been plenty of time. You don't know why she hasn't.
Is Prozamaya still with us?
No, he's up in the
No,
ship. He's up in the Comet Seeker getting
Oh.
treated.
Like the med bay.
Well, she should be back by now, right?
Yeah, something must have detained her. He says, I've got her suit. It's just sitting there in the security office near the train.
Can we tell how long that we have before this thing blows?
It's hard to say. It could be 10 minutes. It could be a half hour.
Wouldn't it be weird if it blew up while we were talking and this was it for the campaign? Just like a hard cut from us discussing what to do to like a shot of the asteroid just imploding.
MacGruber!
Roll credits.
It's like Samuel Jackson in Deep Blue Sea.
Yes.
Just mid-speech and
Yes.
All right, Taco, how long does it take for you to activate the warp drive and be somewhere else?
5 minutes at the most. We're pretty much ready to go.
Great. You have 5 minutes to wait for Shauna, and if she's not back, then it's unfortunate, but she's not going to make it.
Gale, where's your wolf?
I think the wolf was desummoned.
Can you make another one?
I can make another one.
Or a person?
Never tried to make a person.
Like a running person to go back and rescue Shauna?
No.
Wait.
Or to put in the machine?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I can give it a try, but I'm not sure how well that's going to work.
It'll buy us time.
Because you had a complete mental link with the guy, you know more or less what it requires. It takes a fire check every minute to maintain the system, and a extraordinary light check to shut it down, a process that takes 5 minutes to achieve. And obviously it wouldn't come through like that. I'm just telling you mechanically what it would require.
Whatever was powering this machine, it's going to take some sort of emotional connection that is stronger than I can make with a conjuration spell.
Well, that was an idea.
It sounds like y'all are going through the thing. Oh, and the other thing is, if it does blow up, it might destroy Stoneflower Island and all the people on it.
Oh,
That's not
yikes.
I forgot to
Yikes.
mention that part.
That's the kind of disaster they'd name after you.
Yeah.
There's fail-safe, so it would probably snap the space elevator and then blow each segment away from the island, so at least it would not be destroyed, but that's a risk.
So there's the only way to shut this down is to sacrifice one of us, is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Does Keziah have any kind of, like, data link to you-know-who?
Oh, gosh. Probably should. I was thinking you were, like, out of contact, but, yeah, you just take a round to establish contact through the Comet Seekers. You know, you spoof a signal or whatever like a hacker. So give me a hacking roll and we'll see what develops.
Well, Sako, start rolling a new character. That's what happens when you miss a session. I'm so sorry.
Tina gets strapped in.
With a -1, it's a 24.
Yeah, you managed to connect with one of your handlers. She floats into view, you know, sort of a fake avatar and a adjusted voice thing. And she says, "Are you at the drive?"
Yeah. And she starts uploading her video feed.
Okay. She sounds extremely concerned. She says, "Is that thing going to destroy the station?"
Yep. And she starts picking up a cable.
Is
Wait a
someone
minute.
gonna fix it? Is
I
there
am.
any way to fix it? Keziah, you will receive an enormous bonus for this, or your family if something goes wrong.
Please send it to my mother.
Will do.
She sticks a cable on herself.
Alecto was charging across the room.
Okay, so Abelard and Gale are like kind of trying to figure out if they should go through the gate. Ebenezer is just, I don't know. What is Ebenezer up to?
I'm charging in after Alecto. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
Roll initiative.
Oh,
It's going to be a bit of light PvP here.
it's a 15 for Ebenezer.
17 for Alecto.
22 for Gale.
Keziah also has a 17, but I'm going to guess that Alecto is going to go first.
Well, Gale's going to go first, and I'm going to rip that cable out of your hand.
Okay, so she's not quite to the cable yet.
I'm going to get in the capsule.
We all
Oh, shit.
are.
Oh no. Okay, you get in the capsule, you stick that cable to your arm, and all of a sudden they start wrapping around you. Abelard goes, "No!" and reaches in and tries to drag you out.
I take the Chala card out of my pocket and give it back to him.
Okay, he takes it and he looks at you and he looks at the others, and he's not sure what to do. He wants to drag you out of there. He's going to drag you out of there.
Can I contest this?
I'm not sure how you would, since you're stationary. Can you use magic in some way? Like a shield buffet or a sleep spell?
I'm going
I
to
don't
cast
know.
Compel on him.
Ooh. He got a 22 on his, or 25 on his water check.
So does that 22 on his water check beat a 44? I rolled
Sure
three
doesn't.
10s in a row. I rolled 3 10s in a row.
He takes the Chala card and steps back, and you see it's like sending these weird black runners of like, almost like infection into his hand. And he's grimacing and he's reaching out for you, and he's like heartbroken. Keziah and Alecto are there. What would y'all like to do?
No! Yeah, I'll run across the room and see, Alecto was going to climb into the capsule.
Oh no! Just jump in there with her.
So I'm going to try to tackle Gale
Okay.
and grab the cable myself.
Clown cart.
And I don't think I can actually do anything because I just used any reaction I had on Alecard.
Yeah, you can't compel more than one person unless you plan for that, I think.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I guess you could have compelled all 5 of them.
It's true, you could have compelled everybody.
So you're trying to yank the cables off of her or like shove her out of it or what?
Yeah, I'm going to try to shove her out of it. So I rolled an 8, and I was trying to see if I had any powers or skills to go with wrestling or something like that, which I don't. So it's 8 plus my martial arts. It's plus 2, 10, plus earth, I would guess.
Yep.
So that's 22.
Okay, I'll let you roll a dodge check. Why not? You're not fully grappled by the cables yet.
I'm going to use an action point. So 19 plus 5, 24.
You have defeated Alecto's grapple, slides around the outside of the thing and tumbles forward. So I'll put you here. Gale's in the thing. Keziah.
I don't think I've ever been in a game where everybody was arguing on who's going to get to sacrifice themselves.
I think of all of them, you're the most well suited to yank someone out of it.
Probably. Okay, maybe not Crunch.
For the listener,
You know,
Jayme
he
wrote in the
thought about
chat,
it, but
just clown car it.
that's what everyone's talking about getting in. I'm like, yeah, just cloud car, just climb on.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Keziah, Shauna's gonna get back to the ship with the antidote for Prosamaya. You have to get back. This is the only way. You don't know what's in this thing. I do.
That's a good
Fair.
point. You'll get a big advantage when you try to use it because you were inside the guy's head.
I hate it when you make sense, Gale.
What can Keziah do to make this easier for Gale?
I don't know.
Like, can she do like a medicine check so that she won't be in pain? Can she set up like a little?
Oh, an
quickie-
IV drip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. Make a medicine check. Tina sees you start to like just kind of fiddle with things, and she was about to run in and yank Gale out of it. Now she's confused. She just walks over, sees you futzing with the machine.
That is a 28.
Hell
Nice.
yeah. All right, you got all your bits and bobs attached to the control rod, and you're sending feeds in through the pipes there. Gale, you're feeling no pain. You're feeling kind of jazzy.
I could dance in this capsule.
little pre-capsule epidural for you.
Okay, so you'll make your first fire check now to maintain the system. Oh, Ebenezer, would you like to do anything?
Yeah. So Ebenezer finally gets there, slightly winded. He is going to try. And can I try and persuade you to exit with an impassioned speech about, Gale, we don't even know if this will work. It may just kill you. Like, it might just like squish you to death in there, and then we'll still blow up, but we won't have you with us.
She is insanely drugged up right now. You know that, right?
Oh, great. She missed my speech. That was beautiful.
Oh my God. All right, give me a roll. I'm going to say you have to beat that 28 to
Wait.
even get through to Gale.
God.
Persuasion.
You know what? This is only fair. I've ruined every single one of Jeff's like spooky moments, and here I am having a really emotional one, and everyone's just like.
21 total.
21
I
total.
don't think I'm getting through.
Yeah. You'd have to spend 2 action points or a legend point.
I mean, I don't know. It kind of feels like out of character real quick. It kind of feels like AJ's happy with where this is going, because I don't really want to like screw
Yeah.
things up with you for you.
Hey, listen. Whether or not I'm happy with it, I want to see where this goes.
Okay. Let's see here. So, see, I do have my 1 legend point. I think I've had forever. I've just been hanging on to it. If it is, yeah, I think Crunch is going to try his best to save Gale. They haven't always gotten along. At one point, she did try to collapse his lungs fairly recently. But, you know, they've had some good times too. That's the, yeah, he's gonna like just like maybe just like shouting this really impassioned speech. Wake up! You can't die!
Gale,
We can probably figure something else out.
you feel sufficiently moved. Maybe it's the drugs, but you feel like maybe going through the gate is better for you and your friends, regardless of what it does to the asteroid. This is kind of like that last scene in The Last Jedi, where Rose kisses Finn, saves him from the big gun thing, and yeah. I don't think Ebenezer's going to kiss you, though. That would be awkward.
Yeah, no. Please, God,
No, he would definitely die after that. So,
And I want it on the record, I didn't try to collapse your lungs. I told you to close your mouth.
I know. It's true. I'm just kidding.
And just mechanically, if Gale does decide to get out, everybody can just easily help her out and go through the gate, presumably.
I think upon hearing this, I kind of like, can I push a telepathic message out from my earpiece to all of them?
Sure, yeah.
All right. I would just like to send everyone a message of like, we got one shot at this, and I rip the cables off of me, grab the Chalicard back from whatever. Is it a Chalicard? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
From Alucard? I grab the Chalicard from Alucard?
No, his name's Abelard.
Abelard. Okay.
Yeah.
I grab the artifact from him, and I bolt to the gate.
Cool. As soon as the thing gets near the gate, it kind of bursts into life again, and you see that landscape. But to you, it is beautiful. There's all these different colors, and like you see kind of creatures flying off in the distance. It's still kind of hazy and not as detailed, but it's much more active and interesting than the others can see. And yeah, now that you can see it clearly, you're like, oh, hell yeah. That's where I want to be.
Right. And I just kind of like stop in the gate and start like waving people on, like, come on.
All right, Tina goes through.
So confused. Oh, I have emotional whiplash. I guess we're gonna abandon everybody, but I don't know.
Uh-oh. Does Alecto want to stay?
What do you think, Keziah? Are we going? We staying?
Obviously, Gale wants you to go with her. You should stay with Gale.
Okay. You're not gonna get in a tank, are you?
Look at me, I'm in this giant loader. I'm not gonna fit.
Okay. Okay, but you better keep your promise or I'm going to be really upset with you. And then Alecto will turn and follow Gale.
All right. Abelard's just staying beside you, Gale, until the end. Tina's on the other side waving at y'all. It's fine in here. There's nothing wrong.
They have cake.
A pterodactyl flies by and picks her off, like,
It's worth noting, if I fucking see anything other than people running to the gate, I am using my compel reaction.
So it looks like everybody's at the gate except maybe Keziah?
Oh, well, Crunch is gonna keep like a wary eye on Keziah. Like, well, do you suppose we should go through the gate, Doctor?
Are you going up to the gate?
Yes, I thought that's what we were all doing. Keziah.
Well, this is Kristy asking Jayme, is Crunch walking up to the gate, or is he just talking?
Oh, he would just be like kind of sticking by your side for a little bit. Because he just saw one of the crew try to jump in this thing. And now he's a little wary of another one following.
He doesn't want to have to make another passionate speech. His throat's a little tender.
Can Keziah gently but forcefully whip Ebenezer through the gate?
Oh my. Ebenezer, you tumble ungainly into the gate. It's fine over there.
Keziah!
There's not much of a smell to it. The temp is good. It's kind of like an LA afternoon. It's just sort of a dull, purpley, silvery, gray landscape. Keziah, are you hooking up to that thing?
Yeah, the
All
station
right.
can't explode.
All right, you step in and all the cables slide into the various ports on your lander. Or loader, rather.
I'm compelling.
All right, give it a shot. This will be a water check to resist domination. I don't know if your gear can do anything to help you.
I don't think so.
Maybe if you shut down your neural processor and you couldn't think anymore, but then you wouldn't be able to save the station, probably.
Yeah. Probably not a good idea.
Yeah.
Water check, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good.
What'd you get?
Am I a -1 on this?
Yeah. I
Am I
forgot all
also
about
still
those
on
numbers.
-1?
Yeah, so don't worry about it. You're the same, so don't worry about it.
So that is, with a -1, that is a whopping 16.
With a -1, I am. Wait, hold on. 19. -1, 18.
Can I spend an action point?
Oh my god.
I'll spend a
Keziah is-
legend point.
Wow.
Yeah!
Keziah clunk, clunk, clunk. The cables like rip off. Keziah just walks angrily into the gate.
Alecto
Oh, no.
decides that I've been thinking about it. I've been standing outside this gate next to Gale. I don't want a bunch of people on this asteroid to die. That's bad karma, and I can't be responsible for that. So I lean over to Gale and I say, I want you to find Hatima Kassan-Delik and tell her I'm sorry. And I tried my best to find her. And I'll walk over very confidently toward the pod.
Can I just like grab? I don't want to like stop her or anything, but I want to grab her arm
Okay.
All right.
Got her
and
arm.
just kind of like give her a look and just let go.
Touching.
And Alecto will put on her headphones and put on a song that reminds her most of her girlfriend and climb into the pod.
Sail away, sail away.
No.
All right. Well, I imagine Abelard and Gale go through.
I wait for Abelard. I'm the one with the artifact that's keeping this fucking thing open.
Yep. He steps through.
I follow.
All right. Now it's still open. maybe it's a proximity thing. You're not sure. But yeah, you see Alecto hook up to that thing. Now, because you had that super link with Yadra, you can actually use your telepathic device to teach her how to do it better.
I just kind of send over whatever helpful images that I got.
So you'll need to make an extraordinary fire check. So you'll need to get a 20. And this will just reduce the difficulty of her checks.
I'm using a bless on this. I can't not use a bless on this. Holy shit.
Okay. Okay, so since you're using a bless, we'll say you just send in the images and the information and all of it. So unfortunately, that means Alecto also experiences a lot of that dude's pain and terrible memories and things that will stay with you forever. But I won't make you roll to shut down the machine.
Well, I think of all of us, Alecto, maybe with the exception of Tina, is best equipped to deal with pain, having been raised her whole life to withstand the rigors of mind and body. So she'll enter a meditative state and basically shut her body down to almost nothing.
Okay.
The last telepathic message I send to Alecto is, I'm coming back for you. You're not ending up like him.
All right, you see the ribs start to glow brighter and brighter and move up faster and faster. And it's up to you. You can either wait for her to power down the system, or the engine rather, or close the gate.
Real quick, Keziah was or was not instructed to do her best to make sure Prosmaya lives.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. She's gonna look at Gale. Let me go. I'm not going to bother Alecto. I need to get back to Prosmaya.
He's safe on the ship. Shauna's going to get the antidote.
I have to. We don't know where she is.
Yeah, she may be dead. Because there's no activity in her suit.
If you had told me this, we don't know where we're going to end up. If you go back and we get separated, we don't know where you are.
Presumably, you'll be orbiting Devarikar, right? If everything goes well.
Hopefully.
Quick question.
Quick question.
Why are we going through the portal if Alecto is going to gallantly sacrifice herself to prevent the explosion? Can't we just not?
Not.
You don't have to. I would say that if Alecto can't shut it down in time, you will have zero warning as to when it goes. Basically, I'm going to roll some dice to determine how long it takes. And if it takes too long,
okay. I was a little fuzzy on that.
Yeah, if it blows before she has a chance to power it down. That's the risk you take. And now the explosion might not affect you on this side. You're not quite sure. Like, if the gate's open and you're standing over here, it might not hurt you. But yeah. Or if you run with Keziah to save the antidote, it might turn out fine.
All right. Okay, Keziah. Let's just work off the theory that we end up on Devarikar. If I let you go, Do you promise the second you get back, you are going to tell Taco to warp to Derikar and meet us there?
Sure, of course. Yes, I promise. My job is to take care of Rosamaya. At this point. First and foremost, don't let the station blow up. Second, don't let Rosamaya die. That is my job. Third, I will come back to you.
Swear to me that coming back to us is the third thing.
Third, come back to you. Yes. Unless somebody kills me because Rosamaya dies. Then you'll never see me again. That was a joke.
I won't stop you. And I drop the spell.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. Oh, I know one way you could help Gale is boost her wind so she can go faster.
Yes, I do that for sure. I drop the compel and I boost her wind.
Okay, give me a roll for that.
Oh, God, yes, a 10. Ooh.
Nice.
Hell
13
yeah.
plus 13, 26.
26. Let's call that plus 6. And Abelard gives you one of his phase pistols and says, good luck.
Run like hell.
Okay.
Crunch is going to give Keziah his good luck donut that he has been saving since the dawn of time.
Oh my God.
It's like sat on and it's got lint on it.
Why am I crying?
This will keep you safe. He hands over the donut.
Here, use the loader. You probably won't break your bones this way.
So she steps out of the loader, grabs the gun, and bolts.
Yeah.
Okay, so close the gate. There's by the way, on this side, there's a stanchion with this strange stone kind of console with a crystal plate, and it has light up jazz going on like a touch screen.
The second she's clear on the other side of the gate, I close it.
Okay, you go over and it's like a circular runey style dial or whatever, and you just spin it to the left and it shuts down. And the Chalicard stops thrumming, and you're just in this silent landscape. On the other side, Keziah runs up the ramp. Do you want to take that little sensor device? That who put that there? Gale.
Me.
Gale stuck that there.
Gale?
You could easily carve it off the wall.
Does it look like anything recognizable?
It's obscenely expensive proprietary tech from, like, basically your political enemies. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's got all this information. You have no idea how many different sensor things are in it. Okay, so you carve it off the wall and then run. It's going to take you 10 minutes to get to Shauna. Or no, we said you'll be faster, so I'll call it.
I speed that up even more with my whip.
Okay, you're doing that cool whip shit. So it'll take you 8. It'll take you 8 minutes. All right, Alecto, this is it.
Okay.
First minute, I need you to make an easy fire check. So you just
Okay.
have to make a 10.
I have a natural 10, so.
Oh, okay. So unless you
Yeah,
roll a
I'm
1.
not gonna make it. Yeah.
You've been trained by Gale, so you won't take any damage. So now make a extraordinary light check to shut it down. It takes,
Extraordinary.
you need to get a 20.
I rolled a 10
God damn.
and a 7, so 17.
Yeah.
And my
Hell
light
yeah.
is 8, so
Yes.
23.
Okay. So 5 minutes.
Alecto.
5 minutes along Keziah's run. Like you just break out into the elevator room and you're would you go in the elevator or run up the stairs? I think you have to take the elevator. So you're just like fucking buzzing with anticipation, waiting for the stupid elevator to go.
Stupid elevator music going. Sail away, sail away.
Meanwhile, Taco's screaming in your ear like, "Get the hell out of there! What are you doing? Get moving! I'm sending down a shuttle!"
Thank you.
So yeah, you bust out of the elevator and you run and you get to the security thing and it's about 6 minutes in now. And the lights switch from red to yellow and you hear SVA drive powering down. SVA drive powering down. And you bust into the security room, which is right near the train terminal. If you remember going through the train terminal. And I guess we'll start there next time in season 6
Oh.
to find out what happens to Shauna, Keziah, Alecto. You've saved all those people, Alecto. How does it feel?
Feels bittersweet. So, but I think, like I said, out of all the people that had to get in there, I think Alecto was the best equipped for it.
Makes a lot more sense than Robot Lady, I'll tell you that.
I mean, I would have done it, but no one even asked me.
Ever since Jeff started texting me about this fucking Chalicard thing, I've had a character on roll like standby. Because
Well,
I knew something like this was coming.
I've always got Rael to back up to, right? So my first Shadow Worlds character.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Hell yeah.
He's definitely going to get along with Keziah for sure, 100%. Gonna absolutely not try to murder her.
Yeah, I mean, considering they're on opposite sides, yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
it's gonna be fun.
All right, well, likes and wishes.
Well, this was a very emotional episode.
This was a wild one.
Yeah, one was a lot of emotional whiplash. A lot of people getting very serious about protecting each other. I like that. I like how much we all love each other,
Yeah,
So touching.
that's good.
except for Crunch.
Yeah.
No. My big star honestly on this one is everyone's first reaction was to try and like force Gale out, and Crunch's only instinct was to like try and use his charm to
Oh, yeah.
do so. And I
Yes.
think that kind of reached Gale in a way that like made her feel like get a little bit of hope for like a possibility of like, fuck the rest of the world, our friends are getting out.
Yeah. My likes are, I liked the environment a lot. It reminded me of this sci-fi novel I've read once called Ship of Fools, and all like the ancient alien tech, and just like the mystery of what's going on and everything, and like the big like sacrifice moment is interesting, just seeing how that was going to play out. Everything, you're not really sure. Everybody kind of like steps up to bat to try and do the right thing. Yeah.
I mean, you
I
were
thought
all
everybody did a
racing
great
each
job.
other to get in the damn thing. It's insane. Tina didn't, but only because Sako wasn't here and I didn't want to
Yeah.
stick her in the machine.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a feeling she probably would have, though.
Totally.
Probably would have, like, hit somebody or something to get him out of the way. Like, no, clothesline.
Y'all used up like all your points.
Yeah, I used my
That's
legendary
incredible.
point.
Mm.
And Keziah straight up threw me into the portal.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah,
poor
sorry
guy.
about
You
that.
probably hurt your hip on the side of the gate.
I gave him the loader, so you can sit down now.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm sure.
do I have that- do I have the
nothing bad
loader?
will come of that.
On
It's
the
on
other
your
side of the portal.
No, it's on your side of the gate. In the in between paths. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just slowly building like a mech warrior game over here. I've got the loader, I've got the laser cannon.
Just need some heat sinks and
The rocket boots to jump in. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god!
Space
Now I'm
jams through
just
the portal.
picturing. Now I'm just picturing a giant Voltron that just looks like Ebenezer Crunch, sort of like who's that Japanese mecha guy, Ultraman, but with
Ultraman,
Ebenezer's
yeah.
face.
When you said,
I will miss Electro. So go ahead.
oh, go-
Electo's
I
not
was gonna
gone.
Oh yeah, but still. Come back and visit her.
I mean, you saved 100,000 people. That's pretty awesome.
It's true.
50,000. I don't know. A bunch of them
Statue.
left to go there on their own ships, but yeah. Cool. Well, any wishes for next season? I don't have anything written, so if y'all have any good ideas, I can incorporate them.
Get back to you.
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you on any like
Yeah.
Okay.
juicy ideas.
Yeah. hit me up.
Maybe something to do with a clown car.
Intergalactic clown car.
yes. Killer clowns from outer space.
Mhm.
I just wish we get everybody back together because the party is currently split across seasons, which is, I think, the most you can split a party.
Yeah.
like practically split across dimensions. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely in a different dimension for sure.
Who's Kristy?
Whoopsie.
Who's going to heal Crunch now? He's so prone to injury.
I can make an alternate dimension temporary character.
Oh.
It'll be fine.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I have it so like you can get back to Devarikar fairly easily because the way the sympathetic variable attenuation drive works is by gates that are close to each other, or like sympathetically vibe or whatever, and it shifts the ship off of the way across space. So they are close to each
come
other
on, don't-
in geographic whatever. But the in-between paths
Don't
are
you
totally
wanna-
different.
Don't you want to meet Mirror Universe Keziah, where she has a mustache and she's actually nice?
Okay, I will add that to the list.
Could you also add Mustache Keziah to my list too?
It's going to be that Spider-Man meme, but with mustache Keziahs.
Yep.
Yeah. Then you have to choose which one you want. No.
Hell yeah. So what I'd like to do for the next couple of weeks is do some look back and reflect on our times here. Now, Jayme and Sako and Kristy, you joined a little bit later, so like we don't necessarily need you for that first half. First 18 episodes, I think it is 17 episodes out of whatever this is, 32, I think.
Wow.
But
Time
you're
flies.
hilarious, and like we'd happy to have you there.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna like play clips, and we'll talk about it. It'll be fun.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Yay!
Cool. All right.
Real quick,
Yeah.
sorry, I have an unrelated wish.
Ooh.
Say happy birthday to Jayme.
Happy birthday to Jayme.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Half birth.
Okay, thank you.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I think that's it. That's just what I'd like to get into. I've been listening back to the episodes, and there's too much hilarious stuff, right? So now I have to like winnow it down. It's been quite a process. I've got like 3 hours of audio clipped out at this point. Obviously, we can't do 3 hours of recap, so I've got my work cut out for me.
Do a clip show.
Yes. Yeah, a little clip show, but with like us bantering in between. That's usually how I
Why
do
don't
it.
you do one that you put out on like podcast only, and then one that you put out on what's it called? The
Patreon?
yeah, that thing.
Oh, like my super cut of my top highlights,
Well,
something
just
like
like
that.
a subscriber special or something. Like
Yeah,
you know.
I like it. Give them a taste. Yeah.
Well, because 3 hours is too long, so
Totally.
just like do one half that's just like a regular podcast one half that's a Patreon special.
That makes sense. That's good.
Yeah.
All right.
The director's cut, only on Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, I'd love to have y'all there. I think that's it. They know how to find us on the internet. Are there any projects or anything you want to plug before we go?
When is this going to be going up?
I usually get these up right away, maybe a week or two.
All right, week or two. That's yeah. The last episode of season 4 for Christmas Tide Ohio just went up, and it's a really good one.
Yay!
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I'll have to listen to it. I like that show. It's a good show.
So as of July 27th, that's out for the public. So go check it out.
Hell yeah. Nice. That's today.
Yes.
It is.
Cool. All right. Well, it's great having you all. Thanks for riding with me on this bold adventure. You're the first ones to go into the in-between paths.
Ooh.
Oh, man.
Ebenezer and Gale are going to conquer this place.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, chronologically in the book, somebody has done it slightly before this, but you'll be, the next group.
Low seconds.
Yeah. That's not going to stop Crunch from like putting up flags. Like,
Oh, hell yeah.
he's got a little Crunch flag ready to go.
All right, folks. Thanks for hanging in. We'll
Yeah.
see you next
Yeah.
time.
See you next
Bye.
time.
Keep it rolling.
I will return to us. Find you, girl, and make you one of us. I'm taking off.
Shout out to Space Knife for letting us use their track, I'm Taking Off, Shield Your Eyes, from their Into the Black Hole EP. Thanks, Space Knife. Keep it rolling.